Thank you for tuning in to the Fireside Talks podcast, where we talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. Yo, what is up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fireside Talks. Last episode, we got talking about our trials and getting through our trials and how to overcome. If you want to check that out, check out my link tree, take you to the last episode. This episode, I have an amazing person with me, Mr. Austin Cotton. Say hello to the audience.
How's it going, guys?
So, personally, this is a friend of mine from Walmart. He worked with me for, I'm not sure how long you were at Walmart for.
I worked at Walmart for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know that you were there the whole time, but...
Nah, I started in 2019, I think. So I started 2 years after you started.
Yeah.
And everything. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and dive into this episode as I have been promoting it. Marvel. We are talking Marvel, guys. Our top 5 favorite Marvel movies of all time. I don't know, of all time. It's kind of hard with Marvel to do all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, top 5 favorite Marvel movies. Starting with number 5. What do you got, Austin?
I got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah. So 5 to 1. Are we talking about like least to best or least to best?
Yes.
Okay. So this one's kind of like your. Okay, I can get with it. It's not my favorite, but like I can get down with it. You know what I mean? Like bottom of the list. I got you. Okay. Cool. So Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. Now that was an incredible movie. I love that movie. That was good. The storyline was great. Everything was good. How it worked out was awesome in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a great storyline. For you specifically, what stood out to you in Shang-Chi?
It had some of the best CGI that we've ever seen in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these guys were jacked. Like, they didn't have huge muscles. I mean, they didn't have real superpowers. The powers they had came from the Ten Rings.
Yeah. They were realistic.
Yeah.
Somebody you can like connect with almost on a human matter.
I mean,
basically.
The guy starts out the movie living in what is it like?
Oh goodness, I can't remember.
I think San Francisco.
I think so. Yeah. Him and his friends.
Yeah.
Were living in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And whatever was happening over in China was following him, and then he didn't really know per se that he was Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
But he went on this journey to figure out who he was, and to figure out what was going on in general. Fight scenes, bro. That was incredible.
Yes.
I love the fight scenes in Shang-Chi. Martial arts in itself, I have a couple of friends who are in martial arts for, Sheldon and Spencer and all of them.
Yeah.
They were Christian, obviously. Were in martial arts for, I think it was like over 9 years. I can't remember exactly how long they were. Sorry, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. But just the different arts. That's why it's called martial arts. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like it's called martial arts, because there's an art to it. There's a lifestyle, I believe, to it. And for them, they live that out. I really feel like they live out what martial arts is, what wisdom and focus and peace comes with learning martial arts.
And discipline.
And discipline. Oh my gosh, yes.
Lots of discipline required for martial arts.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot of respect for anyone who does martial arts, because I know I couldn't do martial arts.
There's no way. And the intensity where the Shaolin monks take it is honorable. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wow. You know what I mean? You basically break your body and rebuild it to a point to where it's almost indestructible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so top 5 for me, number 5 would probably have to be, golly, this is hard. I totally wrote notes. Totally did. letting you guys know that. That's what happened.
Where are they at?
They're in here. Oh, man. Number 5 for me, I probably would have to do probably Iron Man, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it was great. You were talking to me earlier about Robert Downey Jr., his start and where he is now, and the diving into the character of Tony Stark to where he turned into Iron Man kind of complements who Robert Downey Jr. was in real life, and that complementary version of who he turned into, where he started as somebody who didn't feel like anybody, so he tried to do a whole bunch of other things to try to fulfill that, turning into a wholesome, focused, honorable character or person who everybody kind of looks up to. You know what I mean? So, but the movie itself was incredible. 1 and 2, we don't talk about 3. Sorry. I'm just kidding. We don't talk about 3. It's yeah. But 1 and 2 was incredibly written, I think. I really do. And then, of course, you know, Endgame and Infinity War, him in those two. The growth in those 2 movies for Iron Man, man, did he grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he grew a lot. But yeah, so that was 5 for me. What do you got for 4? What do you got down there?
For number 4, I have the newest movie out by Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
Quantumania.
Ooh. Spoilers! If you haven't seen Quantumania yet, stop this video right now, go watch it, and then come back, because there's a bunch of spoilers coming your way, so be prepared for that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Quantumania, what stood out to you in Quantumania that you really enjoyed, that you really liked?
Well, Loki is my favorite Disney Plus show so far.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for the next season because, number one, I love Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And his portrayal of Loki is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, really almost true to the Norse mythology version of the god Loki.
Okay, I got you. I hadn't really dove really down into that part of who Loki was.
I mean, just downright mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
No, not really evil.
Just deceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's almost like he can't control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's in his nature.
Yeah.
To just be
deceptive.
And kind of the bad guy to Thor, you know. Mm. Or to anyone who he will treat them like a friend at first.
Yeah.
And then when he actually kind of starts to see them as a friend, it's like he can't do nothing but ruin it.
Yeah, that's true. And to see Thor never give up on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody in the crowd's like, just give up on the dude. Like, he's not gonna... And you know, I don't remember the character, but, wow.
Owen Wilson,
thank you. Lightning McQueen. No, I'm just kidding. Owen Wilson.
That was a pretty good Owen Wilson impression, dude.
Wow.
Wow.
It's just, you know, it's like Loki coming after everybody. And if you would just learn to just come to the light, man. You don't have to be that way, you know? It's like, wow, just start over, you know? Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Owen, call me Owen, I got you. Mr. Wilson, I got you. Oh man. But yeah, his character and how he didn't give up on Loki either.
Yeah.
Like, he kept on him as well when everybody else tried to tell him, just give up on the dude, you know?
Yeah, he always tried to see the good in Loki, even though 9 times out of 10,
there wasn't.
Loki would always let him down in the end.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that.
Just when Loki seemed like he was actually turning the page to being a good person, Thanos kills him in Infinity War.
Yep, that's true.
And then but he comes back, right? We don't see Loki again until Endgame, where a variant of Loki steals the Tesseract and gets caught by the TVA.
Right.
Anyway, we're getting off on a long tangent, and I could sit here and talk about Loki,
dude, forever,
all night long. I love the show so much.
We could. That's true. But for number 4 for me, I would personally put Doom. I would say Ant-Man and the Wasp was pretty good. Very well written out. Characters were very played. I feel like who played Ant-Man? Who played Ant?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. And I feel like he played that character very well. The quirkiness of Ant-Man was portrayed through him very well. And the actress who played the Wasp. I'm not really good with names either. I'm terrible with names.
I know her name,
but I just can't like bring it up to the front of your mind. Yeah, I feel that. But she played the Wasp very well.
Yes.
The seriousness of losing her mom to the
quantum realm.
The quantum realm, yeah. And over what, 20 years? I think she was in there for like 20
or 30 years, yeah.
20 or 30 years. And so literally she didn't have her for basically her whole life. Was like gone, And then, of course, MODOK.
Yeah.
That was a good portrayal of MODOK. I was impressed. The comic book wise compared to the movie MODOK, there was a pretty good similarity between the two. I felt like what I was waiting for was the "Hey guys, we'll take over the world," kind of like that voice that MODOK had. I was waiting for that. But I feel like he was portrayed really, really well. I did number 4, right? Yeah, I did number 4. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Number 3, just straight up. He's got a straight up answer. What do you got straight up for number? Well, no, I was reading the wrong one. Sorry. What do you got for number 3, my man? Yeah.
For number 3, I have Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay, I got you. Got you.
Avengers: Infinity War was just the lead up of years and years and years, setting up for the big bad that was coming.
Right.
I mean, Loki was kind of the big bad of the first phase of Marvel.
Yeah.
But really, he was just kind of an ant under Thanos' boot.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Yeah.
And they almost didn't seem like they were going to build him up to be as strong as he was, because we only saw little glimpses of Thanos until the end of Thor Ragnarok, when we get that post-credit scene of Thanos going on to the Asgardian ship and killing Loki. And when from the very beginning of the movie, at this point he only has one stone, one of the Infinity Stones, and he's fighting the Hulk, who nobody has ever been able to beat except for Thor,
and just annihilates him.
He just beats him to a pulp.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Like he was just literally
like Hulk.
Oh my god.
Kind of caught him by surprise, and he got a few good hits in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like
rage come out of Thanos and just like obliterates him completely.
Yeah. And I mean he's like like dodging punches from the Hulk and stuff.
Oh man. Oh. That's true. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That was.
I mean, he was looking like he was in the boxing ring with the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he was Muhammad Ali, and the Hulk was
Apollo Creed.
Sure.
I
mean, he was
cocky as all get out.
Yeah.
No offense. Like, I'm sorry to any Rocky fan. It was a very terrible fight that took Apollo out. But yeah, and for this new Creed movie coming out, man, I'm waiting for it because the first and second, I haven't seen the second one, but the first one was really good too. It was kind of that same way though. It was kind of unmatched in a way, where you had a powerhouse against a powerhouse, but that powerhouse was more powerhouse than the other powerhouse.
Yeah,
exactly, because that made sense.
But yeah, Thanos just looked so unstoppable.
Yeah,
in this movie. And then Thor, of all the Avengers, which honestly we've been leading up to Thor. Thor and Wanda Maximoff are kind of 1A, 1B strongest Avenger.
Yeah,
in terms of power,
right?
And Wanda really didn't even do a whole lot in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which it was kind of weird to see that, because then we turn around, we see her in an Endgame, and I know she's kind of rage filled because Thanos killed Vision.
Yeah,
and she's about to just rip Thanos limb from limb in Endgame, just using her magic.
Right. Yeah.
But in Infinity War, she didn't do a whole lot. I mean, granted, it was up to her to destroy an Infinity Stone with just her magic, and that probably took a lot more power than I realized, because it doesn't look like a whole lot on screen, if we're being honest.
That is true. Yeah. I agree with that.
When someone like Steve Rogers is going hand to hand with Thanos with all 6 Infinity Stones on his gauntlet, and he's holding his own, and all he is a super, like, he's superhuman pretty much. Like,
super soldier.
Super soldier. Thank you. Yeah. And then Wanda is not really doing anything.
Yeah.
They set them up so much in Age of Ultron too, making Wanda look like she was, just unstoppable.
Yeah, that's true.
And then in Infinity War, she doesn't do a whole lot.
She kind of takes a step back in a way.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, number 3 for me, I would have to be. Of course, we could do edits right here. I could just edit right into it, like I didn't have to think about it. I could look like I just knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me probably would have to be. Man, that's a hard one. I would probably, because it's what, Infinity War, Endgame, and there was a third one, right? Or was it just Infinity War and Endgame, right?
That we had Thanos in?
Yeah. That was just Infinity and War. Yeah, I would say number 3 would probably be, Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Dude.
I didn't even have that in my honorable mentions, but I love that movie.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for the second one. Across the Spider-Verse, man. That's going to be so cool. And the comic book look to it was awesome. I love the comic book. And it was just a well-rounded Miles Morales. Well played. Good.
Really hope we get Miles Morales soon in the MCU.
My gosh.
Live action.
They hinted. Did you? I remember catching it. I can't remember where it was at.
I think it was Spider-Man Homecoming, I believe.
Where he goes, isn't there a black Spider-Man somewhere?
Oh no, you're thinking. We'll get to that one.
Yeah,
that one's on my list. We'll wait a minute.
It's in there somewhere, but yeah, it was hinted. Miles Morales is somewhere in the MCU, and so he's coming. He's coming. There's a lot of characters that are needing to be introduced into the MCU for Dynasty of
The Kang Dynasty.
The Kang Dynasty. There's a lot of people that are needing to be in this Kang Dynasty because Kang is going to be a powerhouse more than Thanos would ever think. At least I think so. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's going to be more than anything. But yeah, that was number 3 for me. What did I say?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, yeah. But yeah, number 3 for me, it would be Into the Spider-Verse. Well-rounded movie. But for number 2, what you got for number 2? What is this? This is the straight up one, this, by the way.
This is my favorite Avengers movie. And it's just Marvel's The Avengers. The original, very first Avengers movie.
You can't get any better than the original, man. That's true. The start of everything, basically. Yeah. Start of everything.
I mean, it's the start of the Avengers saga.
Yeah. That's true.
They could have gone on doing solo movies for forever.
Right. For every single one of them, like trying to show, okay, this is what everyone's about. Now we're going to gather everybody together and show them as a team, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. What stood out in the Avengers that you liked for it to make the list of number 2? What did you like about it the most?
The Battle of New York was just stunning to see.
Yeah.
I mean, you just see a giant, like, kind of black hole open up above New York.
Yeah.
And
this is a portal open up.
And all of a sudden, these giant flying aliens come through the portal. And then, there's, normal-sized aliens coming through, flying on their things.
They almost look like wave runners. Have you ever seen a wave runner?
Yeah.
Like, it almost looked like a wave runner in a way.
Yeah, the Chitauri, I think that's what they're called.
I think so, yeah.
Thanos' army, I think it's called the Chitauri.
Yeah, I think so.
But, they come through that portal, and, Tony has been having nightmares about this.
Yeah.
He was having nightmares of his death.
Yeah, he kind of saw it coming.
Yeah. And he saw Thanos. So when these aliens are coming through and they're saying like they're Thanos' army, and he realizes this is the nightmare that he's been having, the end of his life.
And not just him, but Doctor Strange.
Well, him and all the Avengers. In his nightmares, he was seeing all the Avengers dead at the ground around his feet before he dies.
Yeah.
And at this point, Tony was already starting to kind of mature a little bit. Because he cared so much about the other members of the Avengers that he would do anything to save them, including risking his own life.
Right, yeah. I agree.
And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful scenes to watch. The way the Avengers kind of work together. And then it all leads up to them
eating shawarma.
Yeah, eating shawarma.
Just sitting in a diner eating shawarma.
Yeah.
Which was a real actual, like, I guess a thing Robert Downey Jr. actually did. That was literally them eating shawarma.
Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't supposed to be part of the movie.
It was, yeah, that's true.
It was just, Robert Downey Jr. was like, he just randomly like ad-libbed the line, "Who wants to go get shawarma?"
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of the script.
Director's like,
so they leave it in the movie, and then they have a scene of all the Avengers going and eating shawarma together.
Which was the most quirkiest but hilarious post-credit scene next to the cat throwing up the Tesseract
on his desk. Yeah. And Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel, man. That was, oh my gosh. But yeah, number 2 for me would have to be the What If series. For me personally, I liked how it was written. Captain Carter turning into Captain Carter, showing the bad to the bone character that she is. Like, she'll kick you in the face, slap you, kiss you on the cheek, and tell you she loves you, and you walk away feeling loved. You know what I mean? Like, you're confused as all get out, but like, you're like, I think she loves me. I mean, she just kicked my face in, but like, you know, I feel like this works. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. But that and her turning into Captain Carter was incredible. Seeing that, of course, you know, with Steve Rogers' death and everything was kind of sad, or not kind of sad, really sad. To see that happen, but to see her rise in his place was she didn't disappoint. You know, of course, you know the episode with Ultron turning with the body of Vision and just going completely ham on the multiverse. Yeah. Oh my gosh, kicking the butt of the Watchers. Yeah. You know, these people who are just power. Well, I keep saying powerhouses, but powerhouses basically, and it was just incredible in itself. You know what I mean? Yeah. But last but not least, we're talking number one. Yeah. Number one movie. This is gonna be hard for me, man. I'm just kidding.
This is an easy choice for me.
Easy choice for you? Dang. Easy choice. Okay, I see you.
The rest of the top 5 were hard choices for me. Mm-hmm. This movie, number one, not a tough choice.
Okay, what do you got?
I have Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can get on. I can get on with that. Yeah. It opened up a lot of doors.
It did.
It opened up a lot of opportunities for other people coming in. A lot of other characters. Showed a side of Peter. Oh my gosh. All three Peters, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire to him, all three of them feeling the same way, but like,
we kind of got the Spider-Man pointing at each other meme.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that was in the post-credit scene too, man. I waited for that. That was so funny, man. Like, what are you doing? No, you're pointing at me. No, it's rude to point. No, what? Don't point at me. That's which one do we shoot? The real Spider-Man. You remember the 1960s? Like, I remember the dialogue. I did like a TikTok on the dialogue and everything like that. You're pointing at me. No, you're pointing at me. It's rude to point. No, you're pointing. It was funny, man. But yeah, all in all, that was a great, rounded movie. No Way Home. Perfect. Awesome.
And we get to see the original actors come back and play these characters that they probably haven't played in years. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had the original Green Goblin.
Yep.
We had the original Dr. Otto Octavius.
Dude, what's his name? He played Green Goblin. What's his name? Oh,
I can't remember. And I feel so bad because he's such an A-list actor.
Dude, he's freaking incredible. It's almost like the dude who played Split. Like, it was almost like that kind of level of just like intense, awesome insanity. You know what I mean? But you had, Octavius, like you were saying, you had Octavius come in. Who else?
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, of course. Mm-hmm. Which we kind of already mentioned that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, these two guys, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who love Andrew Garfield, me being one of them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who didn't like Andrew Garfield's movies, but they might like Andrew Garfield as a person and as an actor, but maybe they didn't think his Spider-Man movies were really true to the Spider-Man character. Yeah. And I could understand that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But to see these two just GOAT actors, greatest of all time actors.
Yeah.
I mean,
A-list.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire probably never thought he'd play Spider-Man again.
That is, he did. That's right. Because he was kind of like, after the third one, he's like, but then No Way Homecoming. He's like, sure.
And it's the same director who directed his original 3 movies.
Are you serious?
Sam Raimi.
Oh, man. Dude, I didn't realize that. That's incredible. Oh, my gosh. Dude, I didn't know that. That's awesome. It's great to see in the scene where the grandma, Ned's grandma, the way she reacted to Andrew and Toby was the same way they wanted to show the audience and how they reacted to either one of them. And you had Toby walk in and she goes, "Hi." You know what I mean? And then you had Andrew Garfield and she's like, throwing stuff at him and everything. He's like, get out of here! What are you doing? You know what I mean? Just seeing the reaction. She's like, you're cleaning up all these webs. Can you clean up all the webs?
Yeah. She's like, can you... well, she's speaking, what, Spanish?
I think so. I think it's Spanish, but I'm not too sure.
And Ned is having to translate for his grandmother who doesn't speak English, I guess.
She's going off. She's going,
yeah.
And she goes...
And Andrew Garfield's like crawling around up on the ceiling trying to prove that he is Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And she's like, can you get the cobwebs?
It's not the fact that a guy is crawling on your roof. No, you're thinking about cleaning. That is a woman of the house right there. I mean, like, her mind was fixed on her home. Cleaning her home, man. That was what she was fixated on. What she was thinking about. You know what I mean?
She didn't care that there was a man crawling on her ceiling. All she cared about was, hey, can you get the cobwebs while you're up there?
Can you get that for me? Yeah, that was, oh my gosh.
At this point, she probably didn't even know that Peter Parker, Tom Holland, Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Ned probably had not told her.
Right, yeah. That is true, yeah. She knew about the other two, but she didn't know about Tom.
But yeah.
That's true.
So, but she didn't like freak out when he jumps up and grabs the ceiling with one hand and just hangs there. And he starts crawling around, and she's like, can you get the cobwebs? Like, no reaction. Cool. She, like, freaked out when he came running and jumped through the portal.
Right, yeah.
But doesn't freak out when he starts crawling around on her ceiling like a human spider.
Oh, man.
It's a great movie.
Shock and awe. Oh, man. But, yeah, well-rounded. It was definitely a great movie. For me, my number one top Marvel movie has to be Captain America. Straight up, first Avenger, Captain America. Well-rounded character, well-rounded storyline, showing what he went from to where he is now as an Avenger. Well, now was R.I.P. Steve Rogers. You know,
he's not dead. He's living on the moon.
What? What is that? What?
You haven't heard this?
No, I thought he died in Infinity War. Like, he lived off his life with Carter and, you know, Peggy Carter, and he came back and he died a peaceful man. That's what I thought. What is this?
Well, you know, he when he leaves in Endgame after to take back all the different stones they borrowed to defeat Thanos. Mm-hmm. And he stays in the past to live out his life with Peggy.
Yeah.
He still was Captain America. He still had the super soldier serum. And when you have the super soldier serum, it extends your life. Like, you live longer than normal humans do.
So he still had enough to keep going.
Yeah. And like, after he stays back, a few minutes later, it shows him as an old man sitting on a park bench.
Right, yeah.
Waiting for Bucky to come talk to him. And your computer screen blacked out again. But, yeah. So, like, we never actually see Captain America die in Endgame.
Yeah.
So, there was, a joke in one of the recent Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
That Captain America is still alive and lives on the moon. But
what about all of the Winter Soldier and the Falcon taking up, which that's controversial. Oh my gosh, that is very controversial. I'm sorry. I feel like Winter Soldier should have taken up the mantle. You know, I don't know. I'm a whole Winter Soldier guy. You know, I feel like he should have taken up the mantle.
You know, I like Bucky. But I kind of agree with his reasoning for not taking up the mantle. The Captain America is a symbol. It's not a person. Yeah. The Captain America, yes, it was Steve Rogers, and there will never be another Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that's true.
Bucky, with all the stuff he did in his past, I mean, he couldn't control it. He was under mind control. That's not his fault.
Right.
But
Hydra got into his mind.
Brainwashed him,
yeah.
And But he just felt like with the stuff that he's done, nobody would ever believe that he could be the hero.
Right, exactly.
And when you put on a uniform, that's the red, white, and blue stripes.
For him, it was like, oh man, I don't feel like I should be wearing this.
Correct, yeah.
Because of what he did in his past and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like his past was still bothering him.
Yeah.
And that's what that's true, because like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was still trying to heal.
Yeah. He was going to therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he was still going to therapy for it. So, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Would you see him taking up the mantle once he gets his mind back? Do you think like once he kind of figures out who he is and that he wasn't this terrible person, but he was more brainwashed and that he's more than what he thinks he is? Do you think
I think his character, as far as the MCU goes, there's never a chance that he will ever fully heal from what he did and the brainwashing that Hydra did to him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was a real person, possibly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that would still weigh on your conscience a lot.
Right.
I mean, because in Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, yeah.
He is like best friends with like a Chinese man whose son he murdered when he was the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And he can't find it in himself to tell this man who he is and what he did to his family.
Yeah.
And I just think that even though he has the super soldier serum in like running through his veins, he's not strong enough to put the past behind him.
Because it's a mental game. It's not a physical game. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not mentally tough enough to let it go.
It's kind of like, it's an interesting analogy, but it's kind of like when Iron Man was talking to Spider-Man after taking out the ship and everything, like they're trying to save the ship, where he goes, if you're nothing without the suit, then you can't have the suit at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same idea, until Spider-Man figured out who he was, that he wasn't just the suit. He wasn't just the hero. He was the hero within himself, with who he was and who he stands to be. He's that hero. And that, I feel like that helps with wavering. When you're going back and forth through life and stuff, once you figure out why you're the hero, why you do what you do, why you stand for what you stand for, that will ultimately help you ground, help you withstand the back and forth of the waves of life. That'll help you ground yourself. You know what I mean? That idea. That's interesting. A lot of these Marvel movies go spiritual, man. Like, you could take spirituality into this entire franchise. You can just pull stuff out, and comic books in themselves, I feel like, do the same exact thing. You find so many morally and spiritually and just everything. You can pull out so many good things from characters and good lessons and good standards to hold, within yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And it keeps you going too. That's for sure. Daggum right. It'll keep you. I mean, if you're feeling bad, you watch a Captain America movie, man. You're like, I could freaking take on the world right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be Captain America right now. This guy went from nothing to something. I could do the same thing. Dadgummit, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I don't know about nothing to something.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
He was always the same guy. Captain America never changed. And talking about spirituality, in Captain America: The First Avenger, Steve Rogers never changes who he is, no matter what.
Right. Yeah.
God never changes who he is, no matter what.
Right. The same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's true, man. That is true.
And then you were talking about Thor and Loki earlier. And you were saying that like Loki, no matter what he did, Thor always loved him and saw the good in him and wanted to make him be a better person.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what Jesus does for us.
Oh, yeah, dude. Every day. Especially for me, man, when I mess up or when I do something wrong, it's like God is always there. He corrects. He still corrects, as a father, because he's still a father. So he's going to correct you. He's going to back away because he's a gentleman. For I stand at the door and I knock, that was, one verse that stands on. He doesn't bust through your door and start taking over your life, even though you kind of want him to. He stands at the door and knocks and waits for you to come and not just fix your life, but like fix you and yourself and your spirit and your soul and your mind, because then he knows, he believes that a lot of the issues that you might have in your life, I'm not talking to every issue, but like in some of the issues that you have in your life, can start with a mindset that you're having, or a heart issue that you're having, or contentment against certain things within your life, and God wants to address that, because a seed can't grow without it busting through from the inside out, because it grows from the inside out, not from the outside in. It doesn't start from a flower and go back into a seed. It starts from the seed and busts through the soil, busts through the casing. Then it has to bust through the soil, and then it has to grow and really work its way and have some help and encourage help from other people and stuff like that to grow itself. And if it doesn't have that, it's never going to grow, but man, that went pretty deep. That was pretty good. I like that. That was good, man. That hopefully that, that helps other people who feel discouraged, man. Stand with God, man. It's hard. But it definitely is worth it. That's for sure. But for me, mine. Oh yeah, I already said mine. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we got off on it, and I totally lost my train of thought. But well, there you go, guys. Top 5 Marvel movies of all time. Thank you, Austin. So far. Yeah. Probably have another 5 if you want later on. I don't know. I don't know where we're going on the next one. I don't know. We set up another episode.
Maybe some Star Wars.
Ooh, that would be good.
Mandalorian season 3 just came out.
Ooh, which I haven't started. I need to start that.
I haven't started watching it either.
Oh my gosh. I'm a prequels guy, just to say. I'm just going to stand that right there. I'm a prequels guy. I'm not a sequels guy. Sequels kind of ruined Star Wars for me, I think. Personally. It's a tough decision, but
I really like Adam Driver. Yeah. And I think Kylo Ren is a good character.
Yeah.
I think the writing for the sequels is just terrible. But let's not get off on Star Wars. We can talk about Star Wars another day.
Next time. We'll do that next time.
Next time.
But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode of Fireside Talks. You can check out everything Fireside Talks. Linktree will be in the description. Anything else that you have for me, my man? Any hidden talents that you're hiding from me or from the peoples you want to talk about?
I just want to say thanks for letting me come on your podcast and talk to you about something I really love. Yeah. And it was a good time.
Absolutely, man. I had so much fun doing this. It was great. Talking Marvel is always a great thing. So.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I shall see you guys later on. Remember, you guys are children of God, fearfully and wonderfully made. I'll see you later on. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in to the Fireside Talks podcast, where we talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. Join me next week where we talk about anything and everything that may come to your mind.